What's up, D-Gens? This is Vlog 2 G-Gen Theory Optimal Poker. My name is Josh. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the channel. For those of you returning, welcome back. We're back again at Texas Cardhouse, trying to get a winning session. First winning session on the vlog. I feel like it can happen today. Let's get some cards and I'll see y'all on the felt.
You lost another one.
I make my way over to my table with the maximum buy-in here at Texas Cardhouse for 1-2, sitting with $300, and we're looking to get a winning session on the vlog. Start things off here with Jack 10 of diamonds from the big blind. Under the gun raises to $12, and there's 4 callers before it gets back to me. Not much to do here except call with a pretty good hand and great pot odds. The flop comes 6-4 Jack, and with top pair here multi-way, I'm just gonna check in flow and see what the pre-flop aggressor does. He decides to check as well, and it checks all the way through. When the turn comes the 8, I decide to start betting now, and I make it $30, to which everybody folds, so we win our first hand. In the next hand, there's 2 limps to me before I look down at King 10 of clubs in the hijack, and we're going to be punishing those limpers. I raise it up to 15, but just like my boys, the cutoff, small blind, and 1 limper give me absolutely no respect and call thinking I'm full of shit. When the flop comes Jack, Jack, Deuce with 2 clubs, and they check to me, I consider betting my flush draw, but instead elect to take my free card. The turn is the 5 of spades, to which the low jack bets 12. I'm happy to call and see another card, getting the right odds to chase my flush, and the small blind calls as well. We're looking for a club on the river, and that's exactly what we get with the 3 of clubs. It checks all the way around to me, and I size up with my flush, betting $40, targeting whatever the low jack was betting. But it's actually the small blind who calls, and we show him the bad news. He smacks his cards on the table in defeat, and we take his money. 2 for 2, baby. Let's try and make it 3 for 3 now. We look down at a pretty one here with 2 red jacks on the button. There's 1 limp, and then the +2 player makes it 12. The cutoff calls, and I raise it up to 60 with a great hand. The +2 player is the only caller, and we go to a flop. We're not looking for any high cards on this one, but of course the dealer doesn't give a fuck and puts out the ace and the king and the 8. With 2 overs, we check this one back happily, and the turn comes the 7. It goes check, check once again, as we really don't want to be betting it out here with just 3rd pair. And the river comes a 10. On this card, our villain bets out just $50, and honestly, I don't see much we beat here. Like, this is definitely not a bluff, but I really just got to know what this guy has, so I flick in a call, and of course he has a king for 2nd pair, and we lose. On to the next one. This next hand, the $5 straddle is on, and there's 4 callers before it gets to me with pocket jacks once again in the small blind. These limpers never learn their lessons, so we're just going to keep punishing them. I make it $35 this time, and it folds all the way to the button player. This player's name is Moises, and he's an absolute homie who we'll get into a lot of pots with tonight. He flicks in the call and says, "Acción de video," which I know from my middle school Spanish class means, "I'm gonna take your money for all of YouTube to see." Apparently the dealer wants this to happen because he puts out another flop with overcards to our jack, in King 9-2 with 2 diamonds. This time with just 1 player in the hand and only 1 overcard, I decide to continuation bet for $30, and Moises calls. The turn brings in the front door flush with the 8 of diamonds, so I check and he checks back. As if the board wasn't bad enough, the dealer draws an ace on the river, giving us 3rd pair with our jacks once again. I check and Moises bets 70, and we're not going to be calling this one. Moises shows us that we folded the right hand, but he also shows us that he's willing to play any 2 cards to come after me. Alright Moises, action to you. In this next one, the +1 player makes it 15. Moises calls him +2, and I look down at Queen Jack of diamonds and call from the low jack. The small blind and the under the gun players also call, so we go to a flop, which comes Queen King 9. It goes check, check, and then Moises makes it 50. And I decide to call with second pair and a gut shot to a 10, but we can probably fold to this 2/3 sizing bet because most of our outs aren't really live. If we hit a jack for 2 pair, that means somebody else could have a straight with a 10, and so we're really only looking for a 10 or a queen here to be good, but plenty of people can have better hands here. Anyway, the small blind decides to punish us. He raises it to 150, and then the +1 player goes all in, and Moises and I both fold. Moises straddles for 7 in this hand, and we look down at pocket kings, baby. I bump it up to 20 bucks just to be reminded that this table still doesn't respect me, and I get 3 callers. The flop comes about as dry as it can get in 2-9-4 rainbow, and the small blind decides to donk lead into me for $25. Moises calls, and since I'm not really afraid of many cards on the turn, I decide to just call to trap. The turn comes a queen of spades, and it checks to me. I'm not going to be playing passive anymore, and I bet 70, to which the low jack is the only caller. The river is a beautiful card in the king, giving us top set, and we shove our remaining stack of just under 200. We're looking to make it seem like we have a flush draw that could have missed, so that's why we bet big here, but unfortunately our opponent doesn't seem to have much and he folds, and we're still happy just to take down the pot. I look down at 8-7 of clubs for this one. There's 2 limps before Moises makes it 11 in the cutoff.
30.
No bueno.
That's right, it's no bueno for you. If I only 3-bet my best hands like aces and kings, then it makes it really easy to play against me. So I like to mix in some bluffs as well. And this is a hand I think is perfect for that, because it also plays really well when I get called. The table is sticking to the theme of not respecting me, and I get 3 callers including Moises. The flop comes 4-8-6 and it checks to me, and I continue betting with my top pair and gut shot straight draw. I make it 50, and the +2 and Moises call. The turn comes a magical card and another 8, so when it checks to me, I bet again to the tune of 125.
Mucho.
125. He's all in for love. 125.
No bueno.
Video.
Cold.
The river comes the 5, improving us to the straight, and we take down a decent sized pot. Right after this hand, we're still taking notes so we don't get this one on film, but we win a big pot with ace-5, hitting a full house, and we win about 150 from Moises. Moises tells us he's leaving soon and opens to 20 before we look down at pocket 2s. This spot is a clear-cut call in Degen Theory poker, so we're in there. Let's gamble, Moises. The button must have sensed we were monkeying around, and he goes all in for 150. I'd probably call given the action if it was just heads up, willing to play for 150, but when Moises calls, we don't want to have to play for the rest of our $400, so I let him take this battle. He looks pretty confident, so I'm glad we folded. Wait, 6-3? Are you kidding me? Alright, let's sweat this one out with Moises.
I folded pocket 2s.
That's right. We would have hit our first quads on the vlog, and instead ace high wins. Sometimes that's just how poker goes. Shortly after this, Moises wins a big one with the flush, and we're happy to cheer him on from the sidelines. In this next hand, it folds all the way around to Moises in the small blind, and he raises up to 17. I look down at my cards, and I have ace-jack offsuit, and I bump it up to 60 because I'm done playing around, Moises. He decides to call, and we go to a flop, which comes 6, ace, 9. With top pair, I don't want to go too nuts against Moises, so when he checks to me, I just make it 30, and he folds queen 10 offsuit. In this next one, the $5 straddle is on, and there's 2 limpers to me. So I bump it up to 25 because you know we like punishing those limpers after looking down at pocket 6s. I get 3 callers to a flop, which comes 9, 8, 3. With 2 overs, I'm not going to be doing much when it's checked to me, so I check and it checks through. The turn comes the 8, and it checks through once again. When the river comes the 4, the +1 player decides to throw out a $25 bet, and I call with my 6s and win after he shows ace high. All right, y'all, get ready for this one because it's about to get wild. We have 9, 8 offsuit in the cutoff, and there's 3 limpers to me. And if you didn't know by now, I hate limpers, so I raise to 15. The button calls, and then the small blind does something weird and min raises to 30. This normally signifies a pretty strong range because he knows 30 bucks isn't going to get anyone to fold once they've already put $15 in. So he's essentially juicing the pot with what one would think to be a very strong hand. It folds back to me, and I'm not going to fold for just $15 more, so I call and so does the button. The flop comes about as perfect as we could have asked for in 5, 9, 8, banking us top 2 pair when we expect our opponent to have a strong hand. The min raiser checks to me, and I bet 35 this time. The button folds, and then the min raiser does what min raisers do best, and he min raises me once again. Now I know for a fact that he has a strong hand like aces, kings, or queens, and he thinks in his mind he's just milking me little by little for my stack, but I know that's not the case. At this point in the hand, I probably could have just raised and looked to get all the money in here before any scare cards came out, but instead I just call and we're off to a turn. As if this hand couldn't get any better, the turn comes another 9, giving us a full house, and our min-raising opponent keeps being weird and bets 20. That's definitely not enough for me, so I raise it up to $100 and he calls. The river now comes the ace, and my opponent continues being weird and leads out again for just 50. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared he might have aces for a bigger full house at this point, so I just called. But at this point in the hand, with the size of the pot, I should have just shoved for his remaining 150-ish, and if he had it, so be it. He doesn't have aces though, he has kings, and we scoop in over $500 pot. In this final hand, we look down at pocket 4s, and there's 1 limper, 2 limper, 3 limpers, 4 limpers, 5 limpers, everybody limps to me. I'm freaking tired of it. I bump it up to 25, and there's just 1 caller in middle position. The flop makes me shit my pants when it comes 8-4-4, and we flop quads. I don't know what to do. I'm first up, and I really don't want anybody to know that I shit my pants, so I need to get to the restroom quick. So I make it $25 real quick, and of course middle position folds. So here we are with one of the best hands in poker and getting no value from it because I had no clue what to do. Oh well. After that quads hand, we play a little bit longer before racking up and going to the cage to cash out.
Woo! Let's go, boys. All right, we wanted our first winning session and we felt it coming, and we got it for sure. That was a banger. I can't wait to edit this one. Started out early, losing with the pocket jacks. Looked like it was gonna be kind of a slow session. Then we reloaded, and then it was fire from there. Hit the set with the kings. Then, I mean, man, it just went off. We hit that full house with the 9-8. That was sick. We just couldn't lose after that. We were in for 400 in this vlog, cashed out for about 1280, so a win of almost $900. Let's go, boys. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support you guys give. Next week, we'll be going to Vegas, so that vlog's gonna be banger. As always, like and subscribe. shows you support the channel. Comment any questions, any feedback, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.